What may have been true back in 1965 is no longer true in 2013. This is a good day for all southern states, all states who want to have control over their own elections without Washington, D.C. Getting in the middle of everything.
All of the suffering and sacrifices that people like Dr. King and Rosa Parks and all of those people made years ago just went out the window today. We believe, those of us who grew up in the social justice movement, believe that Dr. King would be appalled at what the Supreme Court done this morning.
The Supreme Court, they're declaring Section 4 unconstitutional, basically guts, undermines, it pretty much eliminates the Voting Rights Act as we know it.
I think the Supreme Court's ruling today is a fundamental rejection that states in the southern part of the nation are fundamentally discriminatory.
For the Supreme Court to say that because black people have registered to vote in large numbers, that there's no need for voting right protection from the United States Justice Department, that is naive and absurd, and it denies the real history of our nation.
So basically you're making the Voting Rights Act a toothless tiger.
There is essentially no pre-clearance requirement at this time for any state, which means that Texas does not have to go to Washington, D.C. to get its maps approved, which means that the maps that we passed in Texas last session should be the maps that we have now for the next 10 years, which is great news for Texans because now we can put the court cases behind us for a while. We have some stability in our election maps. We have some stability, some predictability in our election process.
Let's talk about Dallas County. It won't be long before polling places in black communities is going to be gone. Because right now, the United States Justice Department has to approve any changes like that. For instance, district lines to be drawn to determine what districts will be determined. The Justice Department has to approve those district lines. All of that's going to be gone.
You're talking about voter identification. You're talking about early polling. You're talking about resources where, for example, a majority or a white precinct gets to serve maybe 6,000 white voters, and then a minority precinct across town gets to serve maybe 30 or 40,000 voters.
We should not have the same litigation-crazed groups out there trying to continue to move our elections closer and closer to November. This is great news for Texans.
If you think you can trust the state of Texas, Dallas County to draw fair lines, giving everybody equal access to political power, then you're naive, blind in one eye, can't see out the other eye. That's not going to happen.